Good day, students. Today we will going to learn another math lesson, and that is multiplication of decimals. Decimals are important because people use them every day in different situations, such as counting money, looking at the price tag, reading an odometer, or even reviewing Olympic scores. For today's lesson, we will going to learn how to multiply with up to 2 decimal places, multiply decimal by the power of 10, and lastly, we will going to learn how to multiply decimals by 1/10, 100ths, and 1,000ths. Now this time, let's start with multiplying decimals with factors up to 2 decimal places. Okay, always remember, students, that in multiplying decimals, okay, no need for us to align our decimal point. Okay, because we will going to apply our decimal point after we already found or find our product. Okay, now for this one, we will going to multiply 23 hundredths times 13 hundredths. Now let's do this one. 3 times 3, this one is 9. 3 times 2, this one is 6. By the way, when we multiply decimals, just continue multiplying just like what we do when we multiply whole numbers. Okay, we'll just going to add the decimal point later on if already found our product. Okay, so let's continue. 3 times 0, that is 0. Okay, now let's continue with this one. 1 times 3, that is 3. 1 times 2, that is 2. And 1 times 0, that is 0. Okay, now let's go to the last one. 0 times 3, that is 0. 0 times 2, that is 0. And 0 times 0, of course, that is 0. And the last one, we're going to sum them up. Bring down 9. 6 plus 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, still 9. 2, and 0, 0. I don't know if you can see my writings. Hopefully you can see, students. And after we already have our product, that's the time that we're going to, okay, place our decimal point. So since we have here, how many decimal point do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 decimal places. So we're going to move our decimal point 4 places to the left. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this will be the position of our decimal point. So to see clearly, our answer for this one is 0.0299. Okay, so that's it. That's how we multiply factors with 2 decimal places. Okay, now let's proceed. This time we're going to multiply 45 hundredths times 32 hundredths. So let's use the stack form. So 0.45, multiply it by 0.32. Again, when we multiply decimals, just keep on multiplying just like how we multiply our whole numbers, and we're just going to add the decimal point after we already have our product. So 2 times 5, that is 10. Carry 1. 2 times 4 is equal to 8, plus 1 is equal to 9. 2 times 0, that is 0. Let's go to the second number. 3 times 5, that is 15. Carry 1. 3 times 4, that is 12. 4, 8, 12, plus 1, that is 13. And 3 times 0, the answer is 0. Just bring down 1. So we have here the last number is 0. 0 times 5 is 0. 0 times 4 is 0. 0 times 0, of course, it is 0. And let's add them all. So we have 0, we have 14, carry 1, we have 4, and we have 1. Don't forget to bring down 0. Now since we already have now our product, this time we're going to place now our decimal point. Let's count how many decimal places do we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 decimal places. Let's count 4 places to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will be now the position of our decimal point. So this will be now our final answer. Okay, now this time let us try some word problem. Let us read. May wishes to win the game in their mathematics class. She was holding a strip of paper with a decimal number 82 hundredths. Her teacher instructed her to multiply it with 45 hundredths in order to get the prize. What will be her answer? Okay, so for this one, we will going to multiply 82 hundredths by 45 hundredths. So let us just keep on multiplying. 5 times 2, that is 10. To 0, carry 1. 5 times 8, that is 40, plus 1, it's 41. 5 times 0, of course, it's 0. Just bring down 4. Okay, let's go to the second number. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 8 is 32. Carry 3. 4 times 0 is 0. Bring down 3. So 0 times 2 is 0. 0 times 8 is 0. 0 times 0, of course, it is 0. Now this time we're going to add to find our final answer. So bring down 0. 1 plus 8, that is 9. 4 plus 2, that is 6. And bring down 3. Bring down 0. Okay, now this is not yet our final answer. We need to count the decimal places so that we could place down our decimal point. Right now we have how many decimal places? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for our final answer, we have 0 and 3,690 10,000. Okay, so this time let us try to have another word problem. Alvin weigh 32.53 kilograms. Adino weigh 1 and 2 1.02 times as Alvin's weight. Now what is Dino's weight? So we're going to multiply, okay, the Alvin's weight to Dino's weight to find out the weight of Dino. So we have here 32.53, multiply it by 1.02. So multiply 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1, that is 5. And 2 times 3, that is 6. So second number, that is 0, 0, 0, and 0. The third one, 1 times 3, that is 3. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. And 1 times 3 is equal to 3. Okay, now this time let us now add to find our product. Bring down 6. 0. We have 8. we have 11, 3, and 3. Let's count how many decimal points do we have. We have 4 decimal places. So let's count 4 places to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so Dina's weight is 33.1806 kilogram. Actually, we could round off this one into nearest hundreds. So this will be 33.18 kilograms. So this is now the weight of Dino. Okay, so here are the things to remember in multiplying decimals. When we multiply decimals, we need to align the decimal point in a straight column. We use the 0 as a placeholder if needed. Multiply just like multiplying whole numbers. And lastly, count the number of the decimal places in the factors, and this should be equal to the number of decimal place in the product. Note, start counting from right to left. Okay, now let's proceed in multiplication of decimals by the power of 10. Okay, actually, to have a faster way of multiplying decimals by 10, 100, and 1000, and so on, it is by, okay, all we have to do is just to move the decimal point 1, 2, 3 places to the right. Okay, let us have some examples here. We have 3 and 76 hundredths multiplied by 10. So just look how many zeros do we have in 10. We have 1 0. Okay, so all we have to do is just to move our decimal place 1 place to the right. Okay, why 1? Because 10 has 1 0. Okay, so the answer for this one, so we're going to move this one, the decimal point will be here. So the final answer will be 37.6. Why 37.6? Because I just moved one place to the right of our decimal point. Okay, why? Because we multiply it by 10 and 10 has only 1 0, so one place to the right. Okay, so we have here multiplied by 100. 100 has 2 zeros, so we're going to move our decimal point 2 zeros to the right. So 1, 2. This will be now the new position of our decimal point. And for our final answer, we have 8,979.6 tenths and 6 tenths. Okay, so the next one, we multiply this one by 1,000. So 1,000 has 3 zeros, so we're going to move this one 3 places to the right. 1, 2, 3. So this will be now our place of our decimal point, and for our final answer we have 3,657. Okay, and for the last one, multiply this one by 10,000. So we're going to move our decimal point, how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to move 4 places to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So notice that we have here lacking digit. So all we have to do is just to affix 0. So for our final answer, we have 69,500. Okay, so for the lacking digit, when we move our decimal place, just affix 0. Okay, so that's how we multiply decimals by the power of 10. Okay, when we multiply a decimal by the power of 10, we simply move the decimal point to the right depending on the number of zeros. Always remember, it depends on the number of zeros. If we multiply it by 10, 10 has only 1 0, then we move the decimal point 1 place only to the right. If we multiply it by 100, then 100 has 2 zeros, then we're going to move the decimal point 2 zeros to the right. It must depend on how many zeros do we have. Okay, The next one, we're going to multiply decimals by 1/10, 100ths, and 1,000ths. When we multiply decimals by 1/10, 100ths, and 1,000ths, we move our decimal point 1, 2, or 3 places. This time, we're going to move it to the left of our product. So a while ago, by the power of 10, we move our decimal point to the right. But if we're going to multiply it by 1/10, 100ths, and 1,000ths, we're going to move the decimal place or the decimal point to the left. Okay, now let's try to have some example. Multiply 85.7 by 1/10, 100ths, and 1,000. Let's try to have here 87.7. Multiply it by 1/10. So we have here one digit only. So we're going to move our decimal one place to the left. Okay, so this will be now the new place of our decimal point. And for our final answer, we have 8.57. Okay, so move one place to the left. For the next one, 85.7 times 100ths. So in 100ths, we have 2 places. It means we're going to move this one 2 places to the left. 1 and 2. So for our final answer, this will be now the position of our decimal point. Just affix 0 here. And for our final answer, we have 0.857 thousandths. Okay. And for the last one, 85.7, multiply it by 1,000ths. We have 3 digit here, so we're going to move 3 places to the left. 1, 2, and 3. So this will be now the place of our decimal point, and then all we have to do is just to affix 0. And for our final answer, we have 0.0857. Okay, so we must take note that when we multiply a decimal by 1/10, 100ths, and 1,000ths, just move the decimal point 2, 3 places to the left. So, before we leave, I'm going to give this one a challenge for you. You can place or you can answer this one and put your answer in the comment section below. Let us read. A pair of Maong pants cost 375 pesos and 85 centavos, and a shirt costs 125 pesos and 50 centavos less than the Maong pants. How much will be spent if in all if you buy 3 shirts and 2 pair of pants? So again, you can answer this one and write your answer in our comment section below. So thank you so much for listening. I hope that you've learned something in our lesson, and I really hope to see you again. Bye bye.